I'm absolutely delighted to be here and talk to you about one of my favorite topics. I am Zita Fekete from Sound Soul Counseling. I help people to find rational solution for their emotional problems, as you know. And today I would like to speak about one of the basic things what can make our mental and emotional health really natural and healthy. And this is the sleep and dream. What exactly the function of the sleep and dream is not really well known. It's really researched. There is a lot of research, but whenever they try to find out a theory, what is basically necessary for, we always have some contradictory evidence. What we know that while we are sleeping, there is an increased waste clearance of the brain. It has a restoration function. It's probably very important for the ontogenesis because babies are sleeping way more and way more in the REM phases. It's important for memory processing, preservation, and it has an emotional impact. Now, if you want to know and look around how animals do that, because it has an evolutionary background, animals, of course, sleep. Also, even very early on, I mean, like insects and very primitive animals. The so-called REM phases of sleep, which is the rapid eye movement, this is when we are dreaming, begin with birds and mammals. So they assume that it developed while we developed to warm-blooded animals. But when we see how much average sleep do the animal need, then we find a very different picture. We try to theorize that maybe carnivora need to have more sleep than the herbivores, but then we see exceptions. Then we think that maybe the bigger animals need more sleep than the smaller animals, or vice versa. But there are always some exception from the rules. So basically, we cannot really postulate what exactly we need during the sleep, but we know that if we have sleep deprivation, we have very important losses. And it can be in a cognitive space, we cannot concentrate, we are irritable, we can even hallucinate, and we have the ADHD-like symptoms, but it also has a very severe medical issues, biological issues as well. We have increased reaction time, we have more chance of diabetes, and lots of others. So from this we see that sleep is very important. Now let's see what is the normal sleep and how do we know what is exactly sleep. It has physiological and behavioral components. From the electroencephalogram we see that during sleep we have different patterns. This is how we know what phases of the sleep we are. In the behavioral part, or surrounding is closed out, so we are unconscious and we are unresponsive. Excuse me, I could go back just a sec to the animal part, because I forgot to mention, which is very important for me at least, and maybe others as well, that marine mammals who are conscious breathers, not like us. When we are breathing, the brainstem regulate the breathing and the heart rate, but marine mammals doesn't have this luxury. So as they are conscious breathers, they cannot sleep, or at least not in the same way like we sleep. They sleep one half of the brain, and the contralateral eyes are closed. And when they have enough sleep, then they sleep to the other part of the brain. So basically they are always awake, at least half part of the brain. It also means for us that even if you cannot sleep the usual way, you have to develop an alternative method to have the brain rest, or this is what we try to find out what to do. So if we go back, we have this physiological sign, or EEG, electroencephalogram sign, and here is what's really important for us. This is the normal, healthy cycle of sleep. When we go to sleep, first we are awake, and quite rapidly we go through the stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and the deepest sleep. All of these stages can be characterized by different EEGs. I don't go to the details at the moment. So then we stay in the deep sleep for a while, and then we come back. Here is the REM phase, the rapid eye movement. Here we are dreaming. Then comes another deep cycle, and we come back. And sometimes we awake, we get awake. And then we repeat the cycle. It's a little bit altered to the other end of the night. We don't sleep that much, that deep. We have more dreaming. And we have this occasional awakeness. So when you awake in the middle of the night and you say, oh, I cannot sleep, that's okay. That's actually evolutionary very important. That was when we checked our environment. Is everything okay? No one is here, no one is in the cave, you know? So we need that. When you are home, most of the time you're not conscious about it because everything's okay. But if you sleep in a different environment in a motel, then you will notice that the awakenings get more and more conscious that, oh my God, where I am. And then you know that's okay. So this is the normal, this is what we need, or this is this is the goal, to have this kind of sleep. How long for humans, it's different for everybody. The average is 8 hours, but you can feel that if you are well rested, feel good after 6 hours of sleep, then you're a short sleeper. If you need the 10 hours, then you're a long sleeper, and that's okay. So you listen to your body, what amount of sleep is enough for you. Now, that pattern is not necessarily true for everybody, so there are the differences. For example, children have more deep sleep at the beginning of the night than adults. And this is very important to know that they are sleeping so deep that even if you think that they will wake up for the fire alarm, they won't. So if there is an emergency, go to the room, pick them up, take them out, don't wait that they will come out all by themselves. This is the normal one, another one, and this is how we change when we got older. The deep phases become less deep, and the awakening are more. So the sleep is not that good, or not that deep at least. We don't need that much when as we get older. One more thing what is not here, but really important to know, I think, that teenagers have the same cycles and the same need, but their rhythm slides before or ahead. So they fall asleep not so early in the night as before in their childhood. They fall asleep at 11 or 12, but they need the whole cycle all by 8 or 9 hours. And the problem today is that high schools are begin at 7, so they cannot have enough sleep. And sleep deprivation, this is an interrogation method. We cannot oh my goodness.
That's 8 minutes, you have 2 left.
All right, so then I have to run through a lot. This, by the way, this can be reached in my website after this presentation. So this is a normal cycle when we go through from the 1 to the end this is what we call one sleep cycle, and we have more in one night. During the deep sleep, we usually your body recovers. During the REM sleep, during the dream, I can say the psychological parts or psyche is recuperating. These are the other different changes what's happening during the night or during sleep. The temperature change, and for example, melatonin, cortisol, and the growth hormone has a different rhythm, how it releases in the body. And this is the biological clock where the whole cycle sits in. So if we are awake and during the day and have enough light, have enough light not to make melatonin, but making melatonin in the night, that keeps us healthy. These are the different brain areas which are participating in the sleep. So you see, it's not just not doing anything. The different areas of the brain are very active. And different chemicals affect the sleep very pretty much. This is the alcohol effect, which helps us fall asleep very early on, but I don't go to the details. So it alters as every other. You see different chemicals, the caffeine, everything makes changes in the regular patterns. So be very careful about them. psychotropical medication have a different medication, different effect, but most of them reduces the dream phases of the sleep. And the sleep hygiene is how you can naturally help yourself to get the normal and healthy amount of sleep without any medication or any chemicals. And what just quickly can talk about it is that if you go to sleep, have a cool room, dark room, nothing, no distraction. If you can not to have too much flickering light before going to sleep, and it can be as dark as you cannot see your hand if you do this. And so just a common sense, what you think, you don't drink alcohol and coffee before sleep and so on and so on. And let's hope that you can naturally reach that goal to have this natural cycle of the sleep. Now, I think I have to leave the dream for the next time. But thank you very much for attention.